Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Shroomski Magazine's Shroomski Cast. It's on Shroomski TV, brought to you by Shroomski Media in Shroomskiville, USA. Okay, it's Denver technically, but we call that Shroomskiville around here because that's pretty much what we got going on here in the lovely state of Colorado. So, yeah, this is going to be the first episode of the Shroomski session. It's going to be me sitting here BSing back and forth with you guys. We took a handful of different questions. And, obviously we want to break it down. And, the magazine, it's been awesome to do. It comes out every 4 months. It's kind of like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Actually, it's more like a Triceratops, okay? It takes a long time, but it is a very magnificent beast, okay? It just takes a long while to get from where it's going. So we want to make sure that the content comes a lot quicker to you. And we're looking to get these out to you on a weekly basis so you get that itch scratched, okay? We've been hearing about it, and we're listening. So this first episode is going to be called The Origins of Shroomski. Let's just start from the beginning type stuff, and I'll let you know, how this worldwide phenomenon became, okay, what it is today, okay? So, by the way, my name is Anthony Sabia. I am the publisher of Shroomski Magazine. I founded it. Psychedelco's the mother company. I founded that in late October of 2021. Just really wanted to make sure I was ahead of the curve this time with something that I felt was going to be a very groundbreaking and life-changing, world-changing type of era that we were going to get into. I have a weed company. I've been out here for 10 years. 0420 Inc. is my weed brand. I took my lumps with that company. I still active, and I threw a lot of events with that company. And I watched a lot of other companies and brands come out over the, from 2014 and all the way through, and a lot of them beat the daylights out of each other, and you kind of saw what was the best ones left standing. And as the legalization stuff was starting to happen and decriminalizing actually was happening, I was trying to position myself to do something. And so that's what's up. So the first question, where did it come from? Okay, that was essentially it. It came from my duration of time in the weed industry. By the way, that's my main 9 to 5. That's what I do to fund the magazine. I'm a wholesaler, a broker basically for a good handful of growers, cultivators out here. And as a matter of fact, most people, they put their phone next to them on this. Mine's not on silent, okay? This thing may go off at any moment. I want to let you know you're going to be sitting here listening to me wheeling and dealing and, fighting for the best price, because it's a dog-eat-dog world out here. If I don't sell weed, Shroomski dries up. So that thing's staying on, okay? Being in the weed industry, just watching it from the standpoint of being a broker, I wanted to make sure that when I came into psychedelics, I was in a bit of a different position. I didn't want to be the guy selling tons of pounds of mushrooms. I just didn't think it was going to equate to the same amount of consumption as weed did. So it was like, well, let's focus on some kind of media aspect, and that's what we did with forming Psychedelco first, and then Shroomski, just making sure we brand that out. But actually, Shroomski came first, okay, as a matter of fact. So it's funny, as I say, where does it come from? The name itself existed in my vocabulary for a couple of decades. I ran bars in Florida, and just to make it short and sweet, there was a tall Russian, Czechoslovakian dude or whatever named Alex, and he was all sunburnt. Okay, he'd gone to Disney World. This was in Florida. Okay, this was in Clearwater, Tampa Bay area. Okay, so he had gone to Orlando. He got cooked. He looked like a lobster. Like he looked like he went to Mercury or something, and went suntanning or something, and he got burnt up. And I asked him, how's he do it? How's he go to Disney all day long with the kids, and get on all these things all day long? And he said, I eat the shroomskis and all the rides are good. Said something like that. Okay, so I remember from that day I started referring to mushrooms, and really all mushrooms in general, as shroomskis. It's kind of funny. No confirmed spelling. He didn't put it on an envelope and slip it over to me and say, I got the shroomskis. It was nothing like that, but it's where I first heard it. So when I was putting a company together, trying to come up with a name that I figured would hook, no one could ever forget the name Shroomski. So that's where Shroomski originally came from. And Alex, I hope the window washing business is going good for you down in Florida, my friend. All right, what's it mean? Yeah, great question, because I actually get asked this over and over again. Obviously, it's some kind of like Eastern Euro fucking slang for mushrooms. Okay, that much I know. I've never been over there, but I figured this. Okay, I get asked questions like that. Is it Russian? Is it Polish? Is it Jewish? Or is it a magazine about skiing on mushrooms, actually hitting the slopes while you're tripping? Which sounds like a great article at some point. Maybe we can fit something in like that. Winter edition one. Okay. I know the perfect person to write that one, by the way. Our editor, Nikki. She's dynamite. Okay. Love you, Nikki. You're definitely the one to write that article. Okay. So, next question. Okay. When did I form it? Okay. So, the name came around, like I said, a long time ago. But in 2019, we were decriminalizing mushrooms here in Denver. And that week I was buying domain names, and that's when I first bought Shroomski. Oh shit! Hey, listen, just so you know, I've got a guy on a stationary bike pedaling. I don't know if his legs cramped or something, but the lights went out for a second here. We're gonna make a little adjustment. All right, we're back. Due to technical difficulties like we just experienced here, we had to take a quick break. The kid that was pedaling the bike to power the thing, he just upped and quit. It's ridiculous, the kids these days. He left a note, called us fucking hippie TV. Says, fuck you, hippie TV sucks, whatever. I mean, he just took off on us and shit. So, whatever, we gotta, we gotta figure something out. We brought in some new power plugs, and here we go. We're back at it, okay? So, why did I do a print magazine? Okay, yeah, I know, exactly. Why would you do a print magazine? You know, we were working with so many artists, and it was kind of like that was a big part of this. If it was just words, we could put it into a digital platform. I don't think it would matter, but you can't really do these artists justice with a digital print. Yeah, you see it looks cool, but to hold it in your hands and really look at the detail, it makes a big difference. So that's why we did a print magazine. What artists have we worked with? Well, this is a never-ending rotation now that started. Off the bat was Chris Dyer. He was the first person when I saw his art. I said, man, a magazine, a print magazine with art like this guy's in it would be dynamite. And Chris was the first artist. John Speaker did the second cover. Morgan Mandala did the third. Android Jones and Alex and Allison Gray did this current issue right now that we're on, and it just there's so many other artists that we've worked to too. It's actually it's too many to name just off the top of my head of who else we've worked with, but it's a who's who. We have a waiting list of artists now that want to get into this magazine, and it's flattering enough. I'm pretty proud about that. How did Shroomski meet Alex and Allison Gray? I get asked that a lot. Well, going back to what I do for a 9 to 5 here selling weed around town, the MAPS organization was here, or they are. They're fucking everywhere. But Ryan Beauregard working for them. When we met, he's no longer with them. But when we met, I had my weed shirt on and stuff, and I let him know that I had wholesaled weed around the state. That's what I did, and that I was in the process of like forming a magazine, right? And a few weeks, whatever, another month or so later, he got back to me saying, Alex and Allison Gray are coming into town. You wouldn't happen to know somebody that would sponsor the weed for the event? I was like, wow, man, you got to be fucking kidding me. Yes, I do. It's me. Okay, I'll go drive them around. I'll pack their bowls. I'll roll their joints. Whatever you want to do. I'll put them on my shoulders. I'll take them up to the top of the plants, whatever. So, that's how that went. And I got introduced to him as the guy who got them all their weed the night before, and it was crazy. They loved it. I knew they would. I didn't want them getting kind of like side rail job over there for some bullshit swag from some company that they think is good, but it's really not. It's just what they have in there. No. So that wasn't gonna happen. So that's how I met him. Okay. How did visionary art influence the magazine? Okay, as you can see, it has a massive, it speaks for itself. It's overwhelming, okay? Again, I mean, I've been a fan of Alex Gray's since the Latter Alice album came out. So it's not like I'm talking about origins, but in terms of visionary art, I'd never saw anybody draw or illustrate something in that way until I was introduced to him as an artist, And coming back around where now I'm seeing this, the first issue over here, it was seeing Chris Dyer and what he does. And I was like, man, this is something different. It's not just talking about, whatever, like just business related only. Like this is a lot of business happening, but it's happening from a dynamite artist, and there was other ones around. So you started keeping looking and stuff like that, and the arts had to just play in a major way. And I wanted to make sure that they helped tell a story in there because of so many. I've heard Alex Gray say this, that so many of the artists are like. They're almost telling tales and showcasing something from a place where they went in their own mind, right? It's like their way of expressing what's out there. Very important. I wanted to make sure it was in this because even though psychedelics is a big hot button right now, it's existed the entire time in art, in the art world. Starting with, who knows who grabbed the first mushroom and started getting creative. We don't know. There's some chimpanzee named fucking Charles or some shit. Maybe it's a Chuck. Bob the fucking chimp over here and following a herd of cows or whatever. That was the first one. But after that, no, art-wise, it very well could have just been, Salvador Dali being the one who they were talking about. He was taking acid and doing art and whatever. You don't know where it is, but it's existed in the art world for much longer than the psychedelics phase is kicking in right now, right? Who makes up Shroomski? Okay, well, obviously, you got your boy over here, Anthony, okay? But, to go right down the list of who else is involved with this company here, Kendra Davis, she's my partner in crime. Literally, a fucking list of crimes right now, just too many to even put up here, okay? She does all the designs for the magazine. She's such a dynamite artist, by herself. And we've known each other for a really long time. I knew she was a super talented designer, and she didn't do the first issue, but she came in and she's done 4 through 5, and she's working on 6 right now. And so Kendra, that's one. Virginia D'Angemont, she's been the main, what we like to call the CFO. She's helped us in ways that just beyond description here, that for us we wouldn't be that far without Virginia doing her thing for us. And we got my boy Wade back there on the camera. He's doing his thing at events. We've got a handful of other Amanda Dovell. She does all of our web design. We've also got April Dynamite working all of our events, making sure everybody's lined up and the themes are going well. And we've got who else do we got? Who else? Well, we've got a bunch of badass writers. How the hell could I forget about that? We've got a huge list of writers that have contributed to this magazine in one way, shape, or form. They're a big part of this. And other than that, it's a small unit. I mean, we have Ann. Ann does works our booths with us as well. Jake works our booth. Desiree, I'm trying to think of who else. I don't want to leave other names up, but it's a small team. And I don't think any one single person has come to me for an interview. It's like someone I've known. I've already knew for the most part. Minus Wade. I bought my camera off of him. Lo and behold, the guy knew what he was doing, okay? He wasn't just throwing his hands up in the air about fucking film, okay, and photography. He was ready to go to the next level and go to do video, and I was buying a camera to do still shots, and that's how that went. Okay, what's the next 12 months look like here for Shroomski? We're staying at the same pace, still doing the 3 a year, but we're bringing in more events. The Rocky Mountain Mush Con is something that we're doing. It's a daytime event, a trade show, completely different than our night events, like a Shroomski night or even the Shroomski Melt. We're on our way out to Massachusetts. That's where I'm from. We're going to be throwing an event out that way in March of 2025. I'm saying the next year here. Obviously, the big MAPS convention comes back. It's almost like a Super Bowl type of event that goes on for psychedelics, and we look forward to being a big part of that. And what else? More art. Oh, hold on. Here, hold on. Yo, what's up, Charlie?
Sounds good.
All right, I'll be back in touch. All right, later. Boom. So, just like that, hey, we're in, we're out. Where are we at here? What kind of events do we throw? I'd already mentioned this. So what kind of events do we throw? We got the Shroomski night. That was the first thing that we did. As a matter of fact, before we even put the magazine out, I threw a Halloween party called Shroomski night. And that was really piggybacking off of, a long time of throwing weed events. So when the 2020 shutdowns happened, it's about 2 years in between events, we came back, threw a 420 event, and everybody was happy to come into it. That was all cool. But I had like 5 people that day were like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, weed events are back. Yeah, whatever. What's up with the mushroom events? Okay, so that's what was kind of getting said that day. I was like, all right, I got something for you guys, okay? We're gonna do this Shroomski melt. Not melt, we're gonna do this Shroomski night. In 2022. So that was the first thing we did was the Shroomski night as a Halloween party. We do a handful of other things too. We threw a Shroomski brunch. It was a day event, went great. As you can imagine what we were doing there. And then the Shroomski melt, which was the first time we really switched out our night event. And it was heavy on the art. We had a big auction involved with it, art auction. Android Jones hosted that and did all the sales there for us that night. He's dynamite. And so those are the 3 different events that we got. We throw a Valentine's party that's badass. That'll be February 13th in 2025. So yeah, Halloween, Valentine's, and we throw these little summer bashes. Okay, those are the ones that we're doing. And then obviously we've got the Rocky Mountain MushCon coming up, and that special little one I was talking about in Massachusetts coming up. And last but not least, what question do we get asked the most? 2 questions, okay? 1, can I DJ for you at the event? Fuck. Hey, every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got a little shuffle going on now. All right, I get asked that a lot. And then the other 2 is what do I got to do to be in the magazine? We've had so many artists reach out to us. It's been actually the biggest blessing. My mom was an art teacher. I grew up around art. My whole life I saw it. I can't draw for shit. I always like to joke around and say that, like, when Kendra needs like a professional stick figure, she just comes to me. Okay. Other than that, you know what I mean? She's got all these other artists and herself to work with. So the art community and reaching out, and again, that's the biggest compliment we can get. They see some of their favorite artists in here and they want to get in and they feel that they can express something very well for us as well. So that's the big one there. So that's it. So you're at the end of the very first Shroomski session on the Shroomski cast, Shroomski TV, Shroomski media, Shroomski up the Yahoo. Okay, so we had a ball talking this with you. We're going to be making these very, very frequently, and we'll be back next week here very shortly to go talk to you about some more Shroomski related material. Like it, subscribe it, go offer this up to your worst enemy and your best friend. Don't be discriminating, okay? They all need to know about this, okay? Talk to y'all later. Take care.